Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Sorry for the Late Reply. This is an expedition in the Transylvanian Alps region. For this expedition you do need to have a jack screw and an anchor with you as required materials, and we're going to be using the Yar 87. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be starting from the field operations base here, and the first thing we're going to do is head up the river stream here to get to our first waypoint. And then from here, we're going to follow the mountain pass down and over to the left here to get to the second waypoint, after which we're going to turn ourselves around and continue through the mountains this way and head all the way over here for our last waypoint. We got to take a couple photos and examine some objects, so that's all we got to do. So let me go ahead and I'll show you how it's done. So the first thing we're going to do is head right on out of the outpost here. We're going to head right on up this pathway here and follow this right around the corner. And we're just going to follow the path here, and then we're going to take this fork off to the right here. And once we head over here, we're going to climb right on over these rocks. And we're going to follow this rocky pass all the way up river here. And then once we get over the rocks, we're going to stay to the left side of the trees here. Just right up through here. And then from here, we're going to follow the path down into the water. And we're going to head right on up the other side here. Go right around this rock. And we're just going to follow the edge here all the way around. And head right on over to our first waypoint. And here we're going to take a photo of the rocks right here. Cool little dinosaur statue. So with that taken care of, let's talk about where we're going next. So we're right over here, and we're going to head down to this waypoint next. So to do that, we got to get turned around and head on back down the way we came. We're just going to position ourselves out of the water and just go right around the edge of it here. Right on around the tree, and then we're going to head up across the water here, right on over these rocks. And then we're going to take the sharp right-hand turn here to get up on the cliffs. And we're going to follow this all the way back down over the rocks. And right on over the rocks here. And we're going to reconvene with the path and head up to the right, up into the mountains. We do have some snow to go through here first, so we're just going to kind of slowly work our way through the snow. And from here, we're just going to make our way up. And right on over the rocks here. Going to head on down, up onto this rock. And that is just going to allow us to bypass some of that slower snow. We're just going to do the same thing here. We're just going to go right on over the rock. This is where things get a little on the tricky side. Now we're going to head right on down through here. There's some ice and some snow, and it's a bit of an angle here, so you just want to be super careful and just follow this up the right side here. And from here we're going to go right on over these rocks and head on down the hill into this little ravine here. Once we get to about here, we're going to head on over to the left. And we're just going to go right up this hill. This is a little angled here, so you want to make sure you're going as straight as you can over this. And from here, we're just going to cut right across the snow to this dry spot. Because if you head to the left through the snow, it's very deep snow there. You want to try to avoid that the best you can. We're going to go right through here and cut across this shortcut here. Right across the snow. And this is going to get us to our second waypoint. Once we're here, we're just going to go ahead and examine the fossilized dinosaur. Alright, with the dinosaur examined, it's time to make our way to the next waypoint. So what we're going to do is head back up through the mountains the way we came, and then we're going to follow this mountain pass down. It kind of spirals down a little bit, and then right on through the snow and over to our waypoint. So that is where we're going to be going. So we're just going to follow the path right back through the snow here. And right on through here. And from here, we're going to cut over to this hill on the left side. And that is going to give us a much nicer angle. Just go nice and slow so we can head back up through the ravine. Head right up the rocks here. And up and over the hill. And once we get over this hill, we're going to head to the right side around this big tree here. Go right around all the trees, and there's a small little gap we have to cross here, so right over here by the broken tree branch. You can get right across that. And then from here we're going to head through the snow. Kind of slow going here, but we're going to work our way through the snow, and there's a path right in between the rocks there that we're going to head for. Fortunately, the snow isn't too deep here, so you're not like kind of crawling through here. You definitely want to make sure you have something that's pretty decent in the snow. That's why I'm using the R for this one. So right on through the snow, we're going to head to the left over the rocks here. And we're just going to go right on over the rocks. And we're just going to keep going over the rocks as we head to the left. And then we're going to follow the path down to the right. And right on through the snow here. And from here we're just going to cut right across the center here. The snow's not too bad through this section. And what we're aiming for is right in between those two rocks. There's going to be a nice section of solid ground we'll be able to get some traction on. And that will keep us moving forward. And we're just going to go ahead and aim for this little dry spot here. And right in between the trees. And we want to go right on over the rocks here. This gets us out of the snow just a little bit quicker. And from here we're going to head to the left. And we're just going to keep working our way through the trees here. And then we're just going to follow this snow path all the way through. Get up on the left side here, get a little bit of traction on this dry ground. And then we can just cut across here, just going from dry ground to dry ground. It just helps give you a little bit more traction, get things done a little bit quicker, as opposed to just pushing through the snow. So right over here, we're going to head straight for the rocks here. We're actually running out of fuel, so let's go ahead and top up and continue on our way. So right over here, we're going to stay on the right side, just up on the grass here. Just helps give us a little bit more traction. And we can follow this all the way down. Once we get down to this little cliff, we want to go on the left side to head on up. And then from here, just right across the snow, we got to get to the other side of this tree. So right on through here, that is going to get you to your next waypoint. So we'll go ahead and start scanning. And once you finish scanning the tree, my guess is that our ancient people worshipped that dinosaur at this very spot back in the day. And with that completed, that is going to complete Sorry for the Late Reply, and that is going to unlock you the High Mount Snorkel for the KRS Pathfinder. So, hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and until next time, see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.